Come back!
I first heard about Harold after nearly everyone in a small community had already tried to catch him. By then, his story had spread throughout the area because no matter who came after him, Harold always found a way to escape. It was one of those stories people couldn't stop talking about.
Come, Harold.
Harold had been bought by a family to be raised for meat, but before that could happen, he slipped away. Once he tasted freedom, he made it clear he had no intention of going back. His owners wanted him found, so neighbors, police officers, and even firefighters joined the search, but none of them could outsmart him. All through the summer, Harold lived alone in the woods. There was plenty of fresh grass and open pastures, so he managed surprisingly well on his own. Every time someone thought they had spotted him, he quietly disappeared before they could get close.
Harold. Come on.
When the weather began to cool, Harold slowly changed his routine. Instead of staying hidden all the time, he started visiting a nearby horse farm almost every day. He would wander into the pasture, eat alongside the horses, spend a little time with them, and then head back into the woods before anyone could approach him.
So this is my friend now, Jackson.
Watching him from a distance, it became obvious why he kept returning. Cows are herd animals, and they aren't meant to spend their lives alone. Harold seemed to look at those horses and decide they were the closest thing he had to a family. It wasn't where he truly belonged, but it was better than having no one at all.
Hi. Hi.
One of the young caregivers at the farm was a woman named Julia. She noticed Harold almost immediately. He never acted aggressive, and he didn't seem terrified either. He was curious, always watching, but every movement showed he still carried a deep distrust of people. Julia couldn't stop thinking about him. She believed he deserved more than another winter hiding in the woods, so she began reaching out to sanctuary after sanctuary, hoping someone would help. We were the only rescue that answered her email, and we agreed to come meet Harold. The first time I saw him, I understood why Julia cared so much. He stayed just out of reach, quietly watching every move we made. He wasn't panicking or running. He simply wasn't ready to trust anyone, and after everything he'd been through, I couldn't blame him. While we talked, Julia explained that Harold still legally belonged to the family who had bought him. I told her we couldn't take him unless they agreed. Thankfully, when they learned we wanted to bring Harold to a sanctuary, they said they would sign him over if we could catch him. They didn't want him trying to survive another winter on his own.
You don't like white bread? Would you rather whole wheat?
That gave us hope, but catching Harold would be the hardest part. After months of living free, he had become extremely cautious. Instead of chasing him, I asked Julia to earn his trust one small step at a time. I believed patience would succeed where every rescue attempt had failed. Julia followed that plan every single day. She carried a bucket of grain, placed it on the ground, and quietly stepped away so Harold could decide for himself. At first, he waited until she was gone, but little by little, he began trusting that she wasn't there to hurt him. Weeks passed before anything really changed. Harold slowly let Julia stand closer while he ate, and eventually she was able to touch his shoulder for the first time. Not long after that, he started following her around the farm whenever she carried the grain bucket, almost like a curious puppy. Even though Harold felt comfortable around Julia and the horses, he still ran whenever anyone else came near. He had learned to rely on himself, and letting people close didn't come easily. We knew trust couldn't be rushed. Julia noticed that Harold liked sleeping between two barns every night. She built a simple pen around that spot using old gates, hoping he would eventually choose to stay inside. The first attempt almost worked, but just as a friend started closing the gate, Harold spotted the movement and slipped away again. A few days later, Julia called with excitement in her voice. She told us Harold had walked into the pen on his own and settled down for the night. Everyone on the farm quietly secured the gates, making sure he couldn't escape this time. It almost felt as though Harold had finally decided he was ready for something different. Loading him into the trailer wasn't easy. He didn't understand where we were taking him, and everything around him felt unfamiliar. With several people carefully helping, we finally got him safely inside and started the trip to the sanctuary. When we opened the trailer door, Harold stepped out slowly and looked around. Waiting for him was a small group of cows. They walked over without hesitation, and one young cow named Dexter immediately began grooming him as if they had known each other for years. Watching Harold run and play with the other cows was one of the happiest moments I can remember. After spending so many months alone and believing horses were the closest family he had, he was finally surrounded by animals just like him. It felt as though he had found the place he had been searching for all along. Life at the sanctuary gave Harold safety, but it didn't erase his fear of people overnight. He was affectionate with the other cows, yet he still kept his distance from us. We accepted that and gave him all the time he needed. Everything changed when Harold became sick and needed medication twice a day. We hid his medicine inside peanut butter sandwiches, and before long, he started waiting for us every morning and every evening. Those quiet routines slowly taught him that our hands brought comfort instead of fear. Today, Harold lives exactly as every cow should. He has a herd, open pastures, and people who will protect him for the rest of his life. If you're thinking about rescuing or adopting a farm animal, take time to understand their needs, ask experienced caregivers for guidance, and make sure you're ready for the commitment. And if Harold's story stayed with you today, we truly appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing so we can continue telling the quiet stories of animals who finally found where they belong.